Okay. Welcome everyone to Career Development's Social Media Do's and Don'ts. My name is Kristen Swims, and I am a career counselor in the Office of Career and Professional Development. We also have
My name's Jessica Byron. I'm one of the graduate associates who also works in the Office of Career Development and works with career services.
today we want to um, let you know a little bit more about how to present yourself over social media. There are a lot of different things that you want to take into account if you are going to utilize social media for your job search, but also your social media presence for when you are applying for jobs and when your potential employer actually looks for you online. 70% of employers utilize social media to screen candidates prior to hiring. A questionable social media presence may tip the scale in your favor, or it could also disqualify you. This comes from News Business Daily. Being invisible, having no social media footprint is not a good solution either. The Career Builder says that over 47% of employers utilize your your social media presence before they actually call you in for an interview, and they're less likely to call you in for an interview if you do not have a social media presence at all. So these are important factors. Today, we want to make sure that you understand the various portions of your LinkedIn profile and how to utilize it, how to begin to write strong professional content on your LinkedIn profile, learn different strategies to build your network within your field. These are things that you can still do while you are at home. In fact, it's the perfect time to start building that online presence and networking with people via Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, emails, phone calls, and how to incorporate LinkedIn and other social media platforms into your job search and to connect with employers. So the benefits of having a LinkedIn profile, one of them is depth. And depth from your LinkedIn profile gives you room to elaborate. So in your resume, you can only say so much. For the majority of you guys, you can only have a one-page resume. And a lot of you guys have so many awesome experiences. Sometimes it can be hard to condense into one page, but you need to if you're applying for that position. But on your LinkedIn profile, you can go into your experiences a little bit further because you do not have that page limit. You can show project samples, images, documents, and videos of your work, an experience that may extend beyond the focus of your resume. You can also show your personality. Your profile can show your unique path and what makes you you. Hiring managers actively utilize LinkedIn. And so the more you update your LinkedIn profile and make it dynamic, the better. You can also have a recommendation section. In this recommendation section, you can ask for your peers, your professors, your past coworkers to give you a recommendation that will be right on your profile. How powerful would it be to have a recommendation from somebody who can talk about the different skill sets you have and your personality and how you are an amazing coworker right there on your profile. So if a hiring manager is looking at an excellent LinkedIn profile, it could be the difference between two different resumes, two different people that he wants to bring in. If your LinkedIn profile has nothing on it versus somebody's LinkedIn profile that is built out and it has videos and it has student involvement and volunteer and leadership and work experience and internships, a professional summary, and you're choosing between two candidates to bring in as a hiring manager, I mean, who are you going to bring in? You're going to bring in the person who took the LinkedIn profile seriously, because LinkedIn is your resume that never sleeps. So there's 5 different key sections in your LinkedIn profile: industry, experience, summary, skills and endorsements, and education. So we're going to go into each one of these key 5 sections. So for your industry, it's what are you interested in? What are you getting your major in? So for me right now, it is higher education. So I graduated with a degree in not career counseling, but counseling, college student development. And my field of interest was specifically higher education. So if you're unsure of what you want to go into specifically, then you definitely want to make a career counseling appointment with one of our career counselors or our graduate associates. We are still doing those appointments via Zoom. The second part is a summary. Think of it as something similar to your elevator pitch and your professional summary that's on your resume. What is it that you want them to know about you? It needs to be a dynamic statement. What sets you apart from the next candidate? So you want to give yourself a little bit of time to think about that. What do I want the hiring manager to know about me? What's my professional narrative? What are my strengths? What are my skill sets, my accomplishments, my values, and my passion? What sets me apart from the rest? This statement can be very, very important. I've talked to a variety of different hiring managers, and both your summary on your resume and your summary on your LinkedIn profile, they say they really do look at, because they want to know what you feel about yourself as a candidate. If you're going to have a summary or a professional summary, you need to make it dynamic. And I have a lot of students who always ask me, Kristen, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. That's okay. That's what career development is here for. So if you're having problems with that, make an appointment. An example of a professional summary, I have 2 examples. One's more detailed and one's a little bit less detailed. One is from a project manager. Passionate healthcare project manager with 10 years of experience managing various projects in high volume hospital. Cuts costs by 32% in 6 months, drops stockroom waste by 65%, and reduce wasted foot traffic by 88% across all nursing staff and departments. Seeking to leverage strong leadership skills and expertise to increase profitability, Vermont's Children's Hospital. So this summary is super dynamic because it pulls out numbers, and hiring managers love to see numbers and they love to see results. Now, the second one is for a teacher. Dedicated secondary education teacher with over 8 years of experience in devising and creating individualized curriculum within state standards. This one is a little bit less detailed, but it gives you a little bit of information. For the second one, I would probably add a little bit about my passion and my interest, especially because you're working with people. Experience. So experience entails your work experience, internship, or research experience. I usually copy and paste my experience from my resume, but I also add a couple bullet points if I feel like there are roles and responsibilities that I didn't add on my resume because I didn't have space. But what's really cool about this is that you can add supporting documents. So just like right now, I am doing a Zoom presentation. I could add this Zoom presentation to my LinkedIn profile to let the hiring manager know that I have presentation skills and I have Zoom experience. I could also add different flyers that I've created for different programs. So the really cool thing about the experience section is that you can add supporting documents and videos and PowerPoints. So your profile can be really, really dynamic if you choose to build it out. And if you're looking for a job, you should definitely choose to build it out. Skills and endorsements. So based on your specific area of study, you definitely want to add the different skills that you're bringing to the table. Now, there'll be a lot of different skills that we all have that are the same, such as transferable skills. And transferable skills are those skills that we all have that all hiring managers are looking for. Skills such as written and verbal communication, leadership skills. You want to make sure that you're adding transferable skills, but you also want to make sure that you're adding skills that are specific to your area or your industry. I like to look up, utilize Google. So when I was creating my LinkedIn profile, I added higher education skills, and then it gives you a list of skills, and then you go back and on your resume and your LinkedIn profile, you add those skills that resonate with you so that you can make sure that you're hitting those specific skills for your specific industry. Now, another cool thing that you can do is get those skills endorsed. So when you're getting those skills endorsed, you're basically asking your LinkedIn family to say, yes, Kristen has career counseling experience, social media experience, public speaking experience, and she can do it well. So they are endorsing your skill, saying you have this skill set and you can do it well. Education. Of course, you want to add your education section. You add when you are going to finish your degree, the name of your degree, and then also you want to make sure that you're connecting with your alumni networks online. If you went to more than one college, make sure you're connecting with both of those colleges, because it shows your spirit and it lets people know what college you're coming from. A hiring manager might be more inclined to bring in someone who went to a college that they went to. You never know. So you want to make sure you do add your education section. Okay, so LinkedIn has another tool where you can find Roosevelt alumni. So if you click in the search box, Roosevelt University, click that, make sure you're following Roosevelt University, and on the left-hand side, you'll see alumni. Once you click that, you'll see this right here, and they break it down where they live, where they work, and what they do, which is so awesome. And within that search, you can add your major, and then you can explore the different alumni within your major. What are they doing? How did they get to where they are today? It's really, really awesome because you can get a chance to see the different places that alumni have worked. Sometimes we know what we want to do, but we don't know exactly where we could work. So this is a great, great research tool. You can actually look and see from your own perspective of where alumni have worked, and maybe you can decide, hey, I want to know a little bit more about this place. So this can help you build that top 10 to 15 places where you know you want to work, or you know you want to try to get an internship at. Also, different job titles. Sometimes we know the industry that we want to go into, but we do not know the job title that we want to have. That's another good research tool to use this as well. Also, it can help you set up informational interviews. Informational interviews are actually one of the most underutilized forms of networking, but I love them. If nothing comes up of an informational interview but research, then that's a plus. But a lot of the times you can build your network and you can have research. So basically, the information interview process is when you ask an alumni or someone that you know who is in the field a little bit more about how they got to where they are today. So you're connecting with someone and you're setting up the interview, and then you're asking them key questions to help you on your search for an internship or a job, such as how did you get to where you are today? Can you tell me a little bit more about what it's like to work for this company? As a young professional who is going to be graduating soon. Do you have any tips for me? At the end of an information interview, I always like to ask, based on the conversation that we had today, is there anyone else who you feel like I could benefit from talking to? And you really want to have done your research, look at their LinkedIn profile, look at the different jobs that they've had, create questions that are industry specific, and make sure that you create a nice environment, because this person could be somebody to help you get an internship. They could be your mentor. They could help you get a job. I absolutely love information interviews because when I was looking for an internship, when I was in grad school, an information interview helped me to attain that internship, which is why it's important to maintain contact with the person that you've interviewed with. And you can do this by sending them a thank you note, but don't make it a generalized thank you note. Really thank them for taking out their time, and thank them for the different things that you talked about and that you found interesting, and try to keep those lines of communication open over the months, because you just don't want to stop it right there. You really do want there to be a genuine connection. And if you just one and done, then it makes it seem like it's not a connection. And you want to continue to grow your network and to grow your connections. And if you have any questions about that, create a career counseling appointment. Okay, so I want you to take a minute to stop and think about your top 3 connections. Think about the people who are in your network. I know sometimes we think we don't have a large network, but yes, we do. We have our old supervisors or current supervisors, professors, family friends, mentors, advisors, alumni, people who work within Roosevelt on the staff side. We have a larger connection than we think. So I want you to think and brainstorm those top 3 connections that you have. And then I'm going to challenge you to talk to these connections. Ask them questions. Ask them for an informational interview. No harm can come. Only good things can come from learning from a seasoned professional. LinkedIn also has a job search tool, and I love LinkedIn job search board because they usually have more jobs, and they also have different jobs than I might see on Indeed or Glassdoor. Not to say that those are bad, because I like to utilize those too, but you want to make sure that you're continuously broadening your search. Also, you can list your preferences for job search and to let the hiring managers know when you are actually looking. Then your profile will, based on the industry, will come to them specifically as well. They also have an easy job apply, which is really cool because you can apply with your LinkedIn profile. So if you're job searching, you definitely don't want to miss out on the chance to utilize LinkedIn jobs as well. Make sure you follow the different companies that you're interested in so that they can come in on your news feed, so you can see the different things that they are doing, what's happening with them right now. Sometimes the different jobs will post on social media first before they even post on their job boards, because they want to make sure they're connecting with people who are interested in them. All right, make sure that you join Roosevelt Connect today. All you have to do is in the search box, click Roosevelt Connect, and it will pop up. And this is for Roosevelt students, alumni, and employers, so that you won't miss out on any good information. All right, so we're gonna transition a little bit and think about Facebook. A lot of people say, well, Kristen, how am I going to use Facebook for professional social media? But people do it skillfully every single day. The one thing to remember here is, if you are going to utilize Facebook or any form of social media, you want to make sure that it is professional. You cannot mix professional and personal together. So if you're going to use Facebook for professional purposes, then you have to scan through all of your pictures, all of your posts, and make sure that it is professional. Some people choose not to utilize Facebook and they only utilize LinkedIn because they want to have a professional social media platform, and then a personal social media platform, which is completely okay. But if you're actually looking for a job, especially if you're a senior coming out and this is going to be one of your first serious jobs, then why not utilize every platform that you can? So you can utilize Facebook for professional social media, maybe for a year or until you find your job, and then you can move forth and turn it back into personal. Whether you're using it professional or personal, you really do need to make sure right now you need to go into all of your social media accounts and make sure you don't have anything offensive on them. Make sure you don't have drunken pictures. Make sure you don't have any questionable posts, because hiring managers can view those and that can really, really sway them to not choose you. So even if you're not utilizing, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter for your actual professional social media, you still need to comb through those things and make sure that everything is appropriate. But say that you are going to use Facebook for professional purposes. You have to have a nice profile picture. I would probably use the same one that I utilize for LinkedIn. You can get a nice headshot. And then you want to make sure in your About Me section that you are actually building that out. So what's the different colleges that you went to? What's your work experience? What are some of your social skills? So in that section, you want to make sure that you are actually building that out. A lot of people don't build that section out if they're just utilizing it for personal reasons. But if you're using it for professional reasons, you definitely want to build your profile out as much as possible. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Jessica.
Okay, please bear with me as I make a quick transition. Okay, so how else can we utilize Facebook when it comes to job searching? So one of the other features on Facebook that you can use are what are called Facebook groups. So basically what a Facebook group is, it's a way to connect with different individuals who have a similar interest like yours. So there's different ways that you can join Facebook groups. You can either join an existing group based on one of your interests, or you can even create your own group if you start searching for groups and find that there's really not one that you're quite interested in yet. You can even create your own group of maybe friends that you currently are friends with on Facebook so that you can communicate easily. Groups make it easy for everyone to share with one another, so you can notify other members about upcoming events that are going on. You can plan for future events and meetings, or even just share posts and photos with other members. It's an easy way for everybody to stay in contact with one another. Group and topic pages. So one way you can use Facebook too is to search for groups that relate to your interest, different internship opportunities in a certain field, and even just your preferences as far as industries. You can share status updates about jobs or internship searches so that you can create some new connections. And maybe someone may be able to help you, or you may know someone who could help who's already in your current network. Looking at different company pages. So when it comes to searching Facebook for company pages, this is a great way to kind of get a sense of what the company's culture is like. So if there's a specific job that you're interested in applying for, and say you get an interview, you can use Facebook to search that company to see what current events have been going on with this company recently. What is their culture like? And these are different key points that you can actually discuss in the interview just to show that you took that initiative and that you are a candidate who can go a step beyond. Make sure your profile is private. So for those who don't know, many of Facebook's profile information is public by default when you create a profile. So it is your responsibility to make sure that you go in there and change all of your settings on there to friends only. So this will ensure that if employers were to do a search on Facebook of you or to do a quick Google search, the only thing that would show up for you would be either your header, your profile picture, or just your name. So you want to make sure that any additional details that are included on your profile do remain private. So for Twitter, how do we use Twitter when it comes to job searching? So Twitter contains information that is extremely valuable when it comes to job searching. So the way Twitter works, you are able to choose the followers that you want to show up on your homepage, and it creates a news feed of different articles, of headlines that are interesting for you. And this is a way that you can discover what news is happening. So not only is this a way for you to become more insightful and involved in the industry that you are interested in, but it's also another talking point when it comes to interviews, just to show that you are well informed in the industry and what current events are happening as well. And with Twitter too, you can get all of the information in real time as well, which is extremely helpful. So when it comes to Twitter, make sure, again, that your profile portrays you in a positive light. Make sure that you're sharing interesting articles and news articles that are related to the industry that you want to get into, or maybe even in the industry that you're currently in, just to inform your other networks about what articles you may have found. We use what is called the hashtag symbol to mark any keywords or topics of interest in a tweet to make it more accessible for others who may have a similar search interest. You can hashtag for your job search as well. If you hashtag the word resume, within that post, you can create a short description of yourself. Maybe if there's a current position that you're looking for, you can include that in your post as well. And then you can attach your resume as well to make it easy for employers to find you. You can also hashtag different topics of interest. So for examples, if there are certain TED Talks maybe you wanted to watch, hashtagging higher education as an industry. These are just different ways that you can utilize the hashtag feature on Twitter. Join industry chats. So for industry chats on Twitter, you can look at the industry that you want to work in by joining different online conversations, again, just to make sure that you're connected in the industry and the network, and to either meet helpful contacts or just showcase your own expertise in your field. So this is just another way that Twitter allows us to be able to network with other people in a similar industry as us. Hyperlink your resume. So when it comes to our physical resume, one way that we can utilize a hyperlink is by adding the URL Twitter handle or a LinkedIn profile to the very top portion of our resume, where we would include our contact information. So our name, our phone number, our email. Right underneath there, you can hyperlink your LinkedIn profile or Twitter handle. And this offers a way for employers to see that you are tech savvy and that you are skilled in social media. And it's a great way to include this skill in our resume as opposed to just listing it under a skill set. Another reason why it's also important to hyperlink any professional social medias on your resume. Typically, our resume is the condensed version of all of our work experience and the most relevant experiences to whatever position we're applying for. So if an employer sees your resume and says, you know what, this looks like a very great candidate, I want to know more about them, they can look directly on your URL for your LinkedIn profile, search you on LinkedIn, and now they have full access to all the experiences that you've included on your LinkedIn profile. Seeking out job search advice. So again, any of these social media network platforms, they're great to find different advice on job hunting, as well as being able to mingle with other job seekers. So right now, if you wanted to look on LinkedIn groups that focus on job searching, you can see different discussions going about of maybe certain websites that others have found helpful in the job search, maybe different tips or advice that they have acquired through this job search. That can be a great way as well to network with other people just to see what the job search is like. Let people know that you're looking. So whatever platform you decide to utilize in the job search for social media, you already have a network that's established on these platforms. So be sure to let people know that you are looking for a job. Even if your network right now may not have a potential position in mind at the top of their head, they're more likely to keep you in the back of their mind when these positions do pop up. And you may be the first one that they will reach out to if you include what experiences you have or exactly what field you're looking to pursue. Instagram. So how do we use Instagram when it comes to job searching? Again, make sure any pictures you decide to post on Instagram portray you in a positive light. Post pictures that show you're interested in a specific field. Create a portfolio. So depending on what position or industry you want to pursue, you can use Instagram as a way to showcase your creativity or show what interests you have. You can use hashtags to search different industries, maybe certain companies, anything related to job searching. You can also use hashtags similar to Twitter, and follow companies that interest you. So maybe potential in companies that you may have an interview for, or in companies that you may want to work for in the future. Again, following these pages and being able to explore their Instagram profiles is just another way to really gain a sense of what is this company's culture like and would I be a good fit there? So Instagram on the company side. So how does a company utilize Instagram when it comes to job searching or when it comes to looking for that perfect candidate? So companies are increasingly turning to Instagram to promote their own cultures and any open jobs that they may have. So this may be another way to kind of sneak into that company through our other networks beyond just job search boards. Another way is to look at what are they posting on social media. So one way to do this, make a list of the different companies that you're applying for, or maybe companies that you could see yourself working for in the future. And what you can do, go to Google and you can search that company's name plus Instagram, and then you're able to locate their profile. So for instance, if one day I wanted to work for Roosevelt, I would just do a Google search of Roosevelt, Instagram, and the profile for Roosevelt's Instagram would pop up. And many times a company's Instagram pages, their Facebook pages, Twitter pages, they are public. So even if you don't have an account with one of these platforms, you are able to access the company's profile. And again, you can do this for any platform you wanted to do, just the company's name and then whatever platform you wanted to search. Okay, and just to wrap up, a couple don'ts of using any of these platforms when it comes to job searching. Make sure that, as Kristen had mentioned before, that all of your platforms and profiles are professional. You want to make sure you don't have any inappropriate pictures that are posted about you. Make sure that everything portrays you in a positive light. You want to make sure that all of your content is appropriate as well. As Kristen had mentioned too, part of the job search entails that these employers are able to find you some way online. So it's important too to not have a limited social media presence. Not to say that we need to have a profile for all 4 of these platforms, but even just 1 or 2, and making sure that we are active on these platforms and that our profile is up to date is what is essential. And also too, just making sure that when it comes to making any of these posts, always make sure that we're checking for any grammatical errors in our posts. Anything that takes 10 seconds to create a post, while we may think is, insignificant, if we make a quick grammar mistake, employers can catch on to this, and this can show that, maybe we aren't so detail oriented, or maybe that, we just have poor communication skills because we're not double checking our work. So that's essential too. Always make sure that you're proofreading your posts. And as you can see here, we have our Twitter page, our Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn for our office here for career development. So if you do have any of these platforms, please be sure to follow us on them, especially during this online transition right now. We are constantly posting new workshops that we will be presenting for the remainder of the semester. So be sure to follow us to have the latest updates.
Guys, we are still offering services to each and every student. Make sure that if you need any help with the resume or cover letter, if you're thinking about the different jobs that you can have within your major, or if you might want to change your career path, if you want to talk about grad school plans or interviewing skills, if you want to do an over Zoom mock interview or talk about networking skills, if you want to go over LinkedIn or how to utilize these social media platforms more in depth and more personalized, then create a career counseling appointment. We are still doing career counseling appointments. I think I can speak for myself and the graduate associates and other career counselors that we are excited to do these appointments with you guys. The more contact that we have with you all, the happier that we are. So please, please, please do utilize career counseling appointments. You can make your appointment at career@roosevelt.edu. That's career@roosevelt.edu. We also, as Jessica mentioned, we have some more Zoom presentations coming up in the month of April that we're super excited about. So please look on our social media platforms as well to make sure that you don't miss out on the information there. I also wanted to let you guys know that GPS is still active. So all of my GPS students, you will still be receiving emails from me. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to email career@roosevelt.edu, or you can email me personally at kswims@roosevelt.edu. if you have any questions about how to get points as well. But there's so many different ways that you can get points at home safely. You can do an informational interview. You can update your LinkedIn profile. You can add your resume to Career Central. If it is your first time adding your resume to Career Central and it's approved, you can get a point for that as well. You can have a career counseling appointment. You can do a virtual career fair. Look out for more information. Roosevelt, our employer relations associate, is looking potentially into having our career fair virtually. So look out for that information as well. You can also do webinars online. So there's different ways to earn points safely from home. And if you need any ideas, or if you want to know if something that you're doing at home will qualify for a point, please contact us. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, please utilize the information on this screen. And until next time, have a good day.